Welcome back. It's Heather's library. We're just living in it.
Aren't we? Yeah. If she could talk about books all day, she definitely would. But today we're adding our 2 cents here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I saw this headline and I wanted to talk about
it. Okay, let's do it.
Katie Couric Media came out with what they call the 37 books that will change your life. I read through them. They came from the newsletter readers of the Wake Up Call, which I think that we subscribe to. I think you get it too, right, Mikey? So I read through, and there's a lot. There's like about human struggles and triumphs and religion and novels and nonfiction and all of this stuff. And again, these are deeply impactful books to the readers in particular. So I was curious if there was something that impacted you all, and I'll share mine too, but that kind of like either changed your life or sat with you for a long time or did something.
Yeah, I brought this book with me.
You did?
Can tell it's very used. If you look through it, I mean, there's stars and underlines and highlight, but this is called The Battlefield of the Mind. It's by author Joyce Myers. Now, she's a Christian author, but this book is for anyone. You don't even have to be religious or spiritual or anything like that, but it talks about just how negative thoughts, they all start in your mind, and like your day-to-day life can be affected by this. So if you think about like worry and doubt and confusion, all of those are, it's the battle between positive thoughts and negative thoughts. And so she gives you like practical applications to renew your mind. And so I've referred to this book every, like, at least once a year I'm in it. Like, I feel like my mind is getting better because I'm in it less now in my older age. But at one point, you know, I was reading this very often, but I love this book, and it's all about just like training your mind.
How important
is that? You have to train your mind, because otherwise it'll just wander everywhere.
Absolutely. And we have your book because one of my kiddos just read it.
I love it. And this would be the last book I read. Not really. But it is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. This is a coming-of-age novel. I refer to it as kind of a now and then, but in book form, and now eliminate all the other girls. And this is really just one girl talking to God because there are some issues growing up. She has some embarrassing things. She has some, you know, maybe provocative things that she's heard or seen and wants to learn from, but doesn't know how to address it with her parents. And she ends up kind of being open with the women in her family, and I just think it's so important. As an only child, I live by this. This was my Bible, and I will say if you have kids that are kind of growing up, hitting puberty and stuff like that, it's a really important one.
Yeah. So for me, and this was really just the novel that stuck with me, that kind of opened my eyes to what fiction could be. So I loved reading The Handmaid's Tale before it was a series on Hulu, before any of that. When I was in college, I took an elected class, a novels class, and this is one of our books that we had to read. And I remember flipping through and reading this book so quickly by Margaret Atwood, and it stuck with me. And again, it's like this dystopian universe, and just being able to create something that was not far out of reach, you know, but at the same time, like far away. It kind of messes with your mind, and it just created this really interesting thing. And that's honestly, I feel like that book changed the way I felt about reading. It wasn't a chore. You could be transported anywhere.
That show got me, I'll say that.
Anyways, that was it for me. Pick up a book.
There you go.